All right, welcome everyone to tonight's second semifinal matchup here as the TCU Bi-County Tournament. I'm Andy O'Hara alongside Kaden, Atkins, Kenny Barnhart, and the Hall of Famer Orion Lemler here for the Triton Trojan Sports Network. Tonight, two Marshall County opponents square off to punch their ticket to the Bi-County Tournament or the Bi-County Championship against Glenn here tomorrow night. Bremen comes in with a 6-4 record. Matt Miller, in his second season as head coach, has a physical group that, they've cleaned the glass well, as Kaden will allude to here in just a moment. They start off the season 4-0, but like we were talking just a moment ago, this is a team that plays in a very tough conference, as that first loss of the season that they had was against Penn. Played a tough Central Noble team in South Bend, Washington, and 3 games right in a row there. Beat Elkhart Christian, then lost to Elkhart before coming to the Bi-County Tournament. Then we saw that 4-overtime win against Argus a couple nights ago. Triton comes in 8-2 on the season. And the only losses coming against Glenn and Northwood on the season. As Groves 4 titles as a coach. He has a couple acclimates as a player as well as his years at Glenn, as he looks to lead his Trojans, his senior-laden group, to another possible championship appearance here tonight. Kaden, we see these two teams, and we'll start off with Triton because we know them extremely well. These guys here, as tough as they play, they're going to be on their A game here tonight.
Yeah, we saw them take down a LaVille team earlier this week, and part of that success that they had in that 60-35 win was they jumped out to a hot start. I kind of made a joke in that pregame about how the 16-0 start ended up resulting in a loss, but the 21-0 start is apparently what they needed.
Had to get past that 20 mark to make it work.
Catapult themselves towards a victory.
So, and against this Bremen team, obviously the rebounds are going to be important. How you're going to box out? If you can't get the rebounds, you got to really take away those fast breaks opportunities for this Bremen team who can run the floor. How do you balance that when you're a smaller team going to probably get out rebounded here tonight?
Well, I think it's going to come down to what defense Coach Groves decides to end up running with this team. I could 100% see Alpha made basket, Triton's going to run into a full court press, try to disrupt Bremen because they are a bigger team. Typically, I'm not saying all the time, but typically, bigger teams don't handle the ball near as well. And if Triton can get their paws on some steals like they had Tuesday, they had 8 steals on Tuesday, that'll turn into some easy points, and that'll kind of balance out the rebound factor.
And then we look at Bremen. This is a team that it was on the upswing. Yeah, last season was just a little bit down from what they've been in seasons past, but this is a group that's strong. They played extremely well against a tough Argus team. I think they're going to give the Trojans all they can handle here tonight.
Well, not just that tough Argus team once, twice, and for like 16 quarters it feels like. Yeah. 4 overtimes the other night against Argus to pull out a 66-64 win. That's just insane. But this Bremen team, like you said, they're big, they're physical, and they can score the basketball, 53 points per game. And compared to Triton, that's very similar because Triton comes into this one averaging 56 points per game. So I could see this being very neck and neck, very back and forth. Whoever holds the ball last might win the game. And we'll just have to see how it plays out.
Which you say that holds the basketball last wins the game. Bremen had to endure a marathon the other night. We started that game a half hour after they tipped off up here at LaVille for our game, and
we were packed up and out the door listening to it on the way.
Exactly, on the way home. Yeah. So and for a team, and you kind of played in some of those overtime games as a player, how that kind of throws you off. Does that make you? Is that going to be harder for you to prepare after being I wouldn't say, you've had a few days of break here to kind of get some practices in. Does that kind of just emotional game, does that weigh on you for that next one?
Well, here's the thing. You're high school kids at this point. Physical wear has not started to set in yet. So you can play 4 overtime games, get up the next morning, and go to morning shooting and really not feel a thing. But it's more of the emotional aspect that you kind of talked about. That game was so back and forth, 4 overtimes, you think you've won it 5 different times by the end of that game. And so it's all about how they can use that momentum to try to impact this game going forward and try to use that kind of confidence that they gained in that last game for the Trojans tonight.
And the Tritons don't have Cole Shively here tonight. That's going to be a big thing for these guys to have to battle. And they're missing Chandler Westaver, still not on the bench yet, as he's out here tonight as well. So your normal group aren't quite there, so there's a chance some JV players may have to play here tonight. That won't get if they play tonight, they won't get a chance to play tomorrow night. What do you, if you're Coach Groves, what are you kind of thinking with that smaller bench to go to?
Oh, that's a tough one because you want to say I have faith in, all 12, however many players are dressing tonight. But at the same time, you want to be able to ride off into the sunset with these varsity guys that you've had all season. They've formed a chemistry together. They've started working well together. And just this wrench gets thrown into your equation, and you might be scrambling a little bit, but I have faith in Coach Groves that he'll figure something out.
Absolutely, and every single one of those guys those normal varsity players, every last one of them is a senior that will be playing on the floor tonight, and that sixth man on that rotation, every single one of them is a senior. So these guys have been here. They know what it takes. They know how to play big in moments, but the big question is, can they answer the call here in this one? So with that being said, it all comes down to the fruit snacks and the juice boxes. His two teams get ready to face off as they'll meet Glenn in the championship game, and that'll be next right here on the Triton Trojan Sports Network. Out there for both teams as Harden, number 12, will start the tip. Out there with Carson Miller, number 50, number 40, Ty Feldman, number 24, Trevor Devine, and number 22, Dawson Hickman. Kaden Graham, Bruce Johnson, Cole McKinney, Tyson Yates, and Ashton Oviedo, the 5 out there for the Trojans to start it off here. As Kaden Graham will get ready to tip off against Hardin. Winner meets Glenn tomorrow night for a chance to play in the championship game. Hardin stands 6'3", and according to the program, Kaden Graham listed as 6'5". We're up, we're underway. Graham controls the tip, and the Trojans will start off on offense. Yates works it past the half-court line, goes to Oviedo on the right wing. Graham cycles up top. Works left. Yates will drive. Puts on the brakes. Picks up his dribble. Someone's got to bail him out and finds Cole McKinney top the key. Okay. Resets. Goes to Yates down the right side. Works away from the screen. Pull-up jumper in the high post is up off the mark. No good. Cole McKinney with the offensive board. Back to Yates. Yates will drive. Spin move. Yates to left hand off the glass. Bruce Johnson put back is good. Nice play by Bruce Johnson to follow Tyson Yates on that one.
Everybody trying to defend Tyson, they think he's going to go up over his head with that, and when he just lays it up underneath, not defending it.
And those kind of plays from Bruce Johnson are going to be huge here tonight. And we're going to get a foul call on the Trojans as Yates was trying to get that one and knock away from Trevor Devine.
Of course, that foul's on number 24, Tyson Yates, his first, Triton's first.
And Devine will bring it up. Works to Miller. Back to Devine. He'll drive. Knocked away by Johnson. So the Lions will hang on to Bruce Johnson, applying some pressure now. Hanging right with Hickman. Hickman feeds it right back in the corner. On the way, on the hits there for Trevor Devine, and the Lions take the lead. Triton looking to answer back. Johnson on the left wing, back on top to McKinney. Oviedo drives. Working against Hartman, step back, tries to step in, but we're going to get a travel call on the Trojans. They'll turn it over. Out of Hickman, goes down into Miller in the low block. Back on top to Hickman. He'll drive, kicks it back on over. As Hardin will have it on the right wing. He'll try to drive against Oviedo. Back to Hickman. He'll stop at top of the key. Down to Miller in the low block. Double team. Tries to throw it. Feldman's trying to corral it. Knocked away. And the Trojans force a turnover. Graham in transition from three. In and out. Rebound to Miller. On to Devine as he'll work it to Hickman on the right wing. Hickman will go back up top. Devine cuts back door, goes up strong with it, draws the foul, and one opportunity coming for the Lions.
So Cole McKinney is going to pick up his first, Triton's second foul.
Devine's first free throw off the mark. As the lead will stay to three. Yates and Oviedo discuss what play we're going to run. Drops it to Johnson on the left wing. On top to McKinney. Now to Yates on the right side. Johnson tries to get freed up underneath. Oviedo catch and shoot three on the way. In and out. Rebound to Miller. Trojans 0 for 2 in their first three-point attempts. Hard now, top the key, kicks it on over to Feldman. Quick feed down to Miller in the low block. Or out in the corner, rather. Harden up top. Miller drives against Kaden Graham with the left hand, goes up. We're going to get a travel call on the Lions. It's Coach Matt Miller confused by that one.
I thought he kind of come to a jump stop and then kind of took off again.
It was kind of a bang-bang. It happened so fast. It was kind of, never know. That's why we're up here. I don't want to make that call.
Yeah.
Yates down the right wing. To Kaden Graham. Reverses it now to McKinney, now to Yates. Nice move there. Yates gets caught. Nice defense by Bremen. Back to Bruce Johnson. Johnson drives. Back to McKinney. He'll try a three. Can't get that one to That one knotted up as Harden gets the rebound.
Yeah, they just got to get the lid off that basket and hopefully get them to go.
Yates comes away with the defensive board on the miss from Harden. Trying a chance to cut it to one or tie on this possession. Down to Johnson in the corner. He'll spin through, loses it. And the Lions take it back away. Hickman now driving through with the right hand, up no good, tipped around by Miller. And Cole McKinney with another offensive rebound. McKinney, the leading rebounder on the season, as Bruce Johnson tries a three. It's all Bruce Johnson here in the first quarter with 5 points. And we're knotted right back with 5 as both teams look to have substitutions on the next dead ball as Miller works on the right wing. Goes to Harden, he'll drive. Short corner jumper on the way on the baseline, it's good. Yates now drives, leaves it for McKinney. Harden staying with Oviedo. Graham now here on the near side corner, drives with it. He'll go in the paint. Loses his dribble, goes now to Johnson, now to Oviedo. And McKinney on the left side. Oviedo tries to drive through, kicks out to McKinney, steps back for 3. And can't get the friendly bounce. Miller with the rebound. Devine will bring it up slowly. Resets and goes back to work. Now to Miller, top the key. To Hickman on the right side. Hickman takes it all the way in the low block as Miller will try a 3, too strong. Knocked away as that one went off of Feldman. As Nunemaker, number 10, will check in. And Gavin Hunziker. Hunziker will check in, and Connor Large will check in for Tyson Yates. Triton's for substitution.
The chat's all quiet, but we got 127 watching.
Yeah.
We'll take it. Oviedo past the half-court line, working against Harden. Now to Cole McKinney. Oviedo steps back, gets free for 3 for a moment. Back iron, and no good. Rebound goes to Carson Miller. Harden now with the basketball. They're calling out the play. So he goes down low to Hunziker, goes back. It's Nunemaker for 3, off the mark. Bruce Johnson gets the rebound. Now to Connor Large in the corner. Feeds Oviedo, who cuts in. We're going to get a foul call, I believe, on Bremen.
Fouls on number 12, Tony Harden, his first, team's first.
Yates will check back in. As Cole McKinney will get a break. Inside 2 minutes to go, Triton trails by 2. Graham leaves it for Yates, and Yates will pull the pivot foot on a warranted travel call.
Just off sync a little bit. They're just not getting things to somewhat click, but just not 100% there.
Need to find a way. This first quarter was going to be key as Harden off the glass, putbacks up, no good. Tipped around. Hunziker goes back now to Harden in the corner. Hunziker looking somewhere to go in the left wing, leaves it for Harden. Goes to Carson Miller in the high post, quick feed down to Devine, to Nunemaker. Final minute of the first quarter nearing here as Nunemaker goes to Harden. We got a 3-second violation on the Lions. Hickman will check in for Devine as he'll come out.
Looks like the Argus boys stayed to watch. Of course, they got to face this again in the regular season and possibly the sectional.
That Argus game will be a Triton home game here in about 2 weeks.
And of course, sectionals will be at Triton. Kaden Graham alley-ooping in. Ties it up at 7.
Speaking of sectionals, Sunday afternoon, evening, we announce for the girls sectional draw. So that's usually posted within minutes of when it's announced on the Triton Twitter page.
Harden tries a contested 3 off the iron, no good. Connor Large reaches in and takes it away. Nice job by him. Oviedo handing it to Johnson, regains control now to Yates. Inside 10 seconds. Yates drives. Picks it up, fadeaway jumper on the way, off the iron, no good. Harden with the rebound, a chance here. He'll push it. Throws one up off the buzzer, off the front iron, no good. And we're headed to the second quarter where we started at the first, all knotted up.
Yep. Thought it might be pull away, but Triton come back there and get it tied up there at 7. So start all over again.
Do you want me to say it? No, okay.
No. You know, Ryan, you had a stat for this one.
I'm not in a hurry to get home tonight, are you? I could go to 10 o'clock maybe.
Some of us have had late nights.
Yeah, I'm about over late nights and no sleep. So you had a stat. These two teams have met quite a bit over the years, Orion. You had a stat earlier.
Oh, Bremen leads the series. I'll find it here. 38-33. That's all time since Triton was a school.
So these two, no strangers to one another. The next time these two teams will square off, it'll be the second to last game of the year, and that'll be up in Bremen.
Yeah, so I thought that should be back at Bremen then.
Which, when I first started broadcasting a few years ago, it was at Bi County, and then when we went and called that game, I knocked the table over. It's a good thing Kenny and his quick reflexes grabbed the computer because it about went. Devine now goes to Hickman. Back on to Carson Miller. Nunemaker. Back to Devine, goes to Hickman on the right side. Checking in was Baylor Orcutt, the big man down low for Bremen. Orcutt goes up and in. The 6'5" junior. Now to McKinney. Treats back. Patient with it. Now to McKinney, waiting patiently. Yates, jumper on the wave off the iron, not high enough. Hits the front.
We got several good looks, but just 2 of 6, 2 points, and 1 of 6 on that 3-point line.
Unamaker on the near side. Goes to Hickman up top. Now to Devine. Now to Carson Miller, top the key. Feeds it down to Devine, up and in.
So Trevor Devine's got 7 points now for Bremen.
Oviedo goes to Connor Large. Now to McKinney. Graham will drive. Loses it off the side of his leg. We're going to get a foul call on the Lions.
Foul's on number 10, Ethan Nunemaker, his first, team's second.
Feldman will check in for Miller, and Harden will check in for Nunemaker. Up high to Kaden Graham on the inbound, hands off to Yates, and he'll set the offense. Now to Oviedo, catch and shoot 3. Oviedo can't get that three-pointer to drop as Devine gets the rebound, pushing up to Hickman. Triton 1 of 7 from beyond the arc. Bruce Johnson hitting the lone 3.
Speaking of him, he's getting ready to check in.
Feldman for 3 for the Lions. Can't extend the lead as Kaden Graham reaches up and brings that rebound down. Yates goes to Connor Large. He'll try a three. Too strong over off the mark. McKinney gets a offensive board. Back to Oviedo. He'll drive the lane. Oviedo trying to feed it somewhere. Loses control. And Triton turns it over.
I don't think that was one of them that Kaden just knew was even expect to come into him when Oviedo was spinning.
You know, and that's one thing on this lane. You know, Bremen closing really well in the lane, and they're like Kaden alluded to in the pregame. You know, this is a big team. They're a strong team. They're physical, and they close really well on defense. Hickman on the left side. Goes to Devine. Now to Harden. Overcut, top the key. Patient now as Devine will drive. Loses it out of bounds as Cole McKinney knocks it away. As Carson Miller will check in. Hickman will come out. So big lineup out there for Coach Miller. Miller now in the corner, goes right back to Harden. Crossover against Oviedo, stops, picks up his dribble, kicks it now to Orcutt. Feldman thought about the three, feeds it down in to Devine, back to Harden. Harden drives, pull-up jumper from the elbow, and off the mark, no good. Tip by Yates. Miller gets the offensive board. Harden goes again. Runner on the way, off the mark, and a foul call on the rebound.
So number 50, Carson Miller, is going to pick up his first, Bremen's third.
Kaden Graham checks back in as Oviedo gets a break. Now to Johnson. Just to Connor Large. Triton yet to score here in the second quarter as we near the halfway point. Kaden Graham in the corner. Feldman closed out the shooter. Now to Cole McKinney with the up fake. He'll drive. Picks his dribble up, goes to Connor Large. Now to Bruce Johnson. Kaden Graham now, working now. He'll drive the dribble drive. Fadeaway jumper on the way. Can't get the roll. Rebound to Harden.
Travel.
You got a push on the Trojans.
So Cole McKinney is going to pick up his second, team's third.
Devine to inbound. Goes up to Feldman. Now to Miller. Quickly to Harden in the corner. And working it around the perimeter. Good ball movement by the Lions as they work it around. Down to Feldman, gets a good look, gets it knocked away, but we're going to get a jump ball call. Possession arrow belongs to the Trojans. Yates brings it up as the Trojans trying to find a way to get that first basket to go here in the first half. Or excuse me, the second quarter. Down to Large. Yates will try a three. Puts it in, Tyson Yates, and cuts the lead to one. Good look by Yates as they kind of let the defense kind of just slow down and settle into there for a second to give Yates some time to get that shot up. Hunziker in the corner, knocked away by Johnson. He'll regain control. Feldman now. Hands off to Harden. Harden drives, spin move, caught in the lane. Oviedo knocks away. Connor Large knocks it to Tyson Yates. Yates taking off. Off the foot of Feldman, throws it to Johnson. They're going to call a push on Feldman.
So number 40, Ty Feldman's going to pick up his first, Bremen's fourth.
This Connor Large will have to inbound from not a friendly location right there, right in front of the opposing team's bench. And that corner's not a fun place. You don't really have a whole lot of options. Oviedo now leaves it for Yates. Hit a three a moment ago with the jab step against Devine. He'll drive, left hand up, and gets the roll, and Triton regains the lead. Hard down the right side. Oviedo coming out to guard him. Now down to Miller. He goes up, and he'll get fouled on the shot. We'll see their first trip. Second trip to the free throw line, rather. His first trip.
So you're going to call a foul on number 22, Bruce Johnson, his first, team's fourth.
Miller gets the first one to go. Dawson Hickman will check in. Now to Johnson. He'll be patient with it. Waits for Connor Large to get free. We're going to get a foul call. I got a feeling it's on the Trojans.
So foul's going to be on Tyson Yates, his second. Triton's fifth. I think he was trying to fight through a...
I think they called it a legal screen. That's what I thought I heard him say. So 2:19 to go here in the second quarter. The Lions lead by 1. Miller now, but we're going to get a foul.
Another
on
one.
Bremen.
Same thing.
Oh.
Say legal screen, same thing.
Yep. So number 40, Ty Feldman, can pick up his second.
Keeping the fouls even.
Yep. Keeping it right there.
Matt Miller unhappy with that call because a couple of offensive calls, I'm just not quite sure where I really saw the. It looked like they were trying to fight the screens. As Miller jumps in front of that one, now to Hunziker, up and in. The Lions extend their lead to 3. Oviedo drives. He'll go up the left hand, up too hard up the glass and off the mark. Devine loses it. Johnson now back to Oviedo. They've found the Lions here.
And that's going to be on Ty Feldman, his third.
That'll bring Orcutt in for him.
Substitution for Bremen, number 52, Baylor Orcutt.
So with Bremen just having 3 bench players right now, subs to come in.
Graham with it. Goes to McKinney, now to Johnson, the left wing. Back to McKinney, top the key. Hickman closes him out. Now to Johnson. He'll try a 3 from the corner. Too strong. Caden Graham fighting for it and gets the rebound. Now to McKinney. McKinney drives back to Caden Graham, spinning around. Graham fighting through, draws the foul, and in. One opportunity coming for Caden Graham.
So Dawson Hickman's going to pick up his first. Bremen's 7th, so Trojans get to shoot 1-1 for their minute so remaining of the second quarter.
And Nunemaker will check in.
This will be the Trojans' first free throw attempt.
Graham off the mark. Lead now still to 1 with the final minute here of the second quarter. Harden with it. To Miller in the corner to Hickman. Goes down to Orcutt. Nunemaker tries a straightaway 3. Back iron, can't get the roll. Connor Large the rebound. And Oviedo will bring it up slowly. Harden's going to track him down the rest of the way. Now to Oviedo. Or excuse me, now to McKinney, rather. Just watching that matchup there.
Yeah, these two over here on this side.
Some kind of interesting matchup there all game as McKinney somehow keeps it from going out of bounds. Now to Bruce Johnson, now to Connor Lars, inside 20 seconds to go as Oviedo gets the handoff. Harden staying with him. Now to McKinney. 10 seconds. Oviedo with the up fake, but they're going to give a travel call. So he'll kind of shuffle those feet before he puts it on the floor. And a timeout for Bremen. By our count, both teams with 6 turnovers here in this first half. Did you see the quarter is not the fourth?
No, I thought, well, that just happened.
Oh.
I pushed the wrong button to have to manually change those.
The score, I mean, looks great, but
Yeah, it's not right here either.
it is 15-14. The Lions with the advantage. With 8.5 seconds to go, they've got the ball coming out of the timeout.
Yeah, we'll get that fixed. Got to manually do the timeouts, and that didn't quite work right. There we go.
There we go.
Pretty even.
Other than your clocks.
You're not liking that either. Video scoreboards.
I'm not moving up here.
8.5. Yeah, there is. Should be right. Once it moves. There it goes.
Devine with it now. 4 seconds. He'll drive. Goes up over McKinney, and a charge call for Cole McKinney. 2.5 seconds to go. The Trojans got to go the full length of the court. Yates is going to check in.
So Trevor Devine's going to pick up his first. And that'll be turnover for Bremen.
And that's the 5th charge taken by Cole McKinney this season.
Goes the Maverick, but we got a lot of...
Up high to Yates. Yates at the buzzer. Can't get it to go, and Nunemaker gets the rebound, and that'll do it for the first half. Lions lead by 1. Yates had a good look there. Trojans try to get things kind of worked out here at halftime.
Hey, you lucked out. You should go get one of those cookies. Oh, we get this to sync up here. We'll have the stats here shortly, which is very even.
So those get pushed over. As we said earlier, Glenn won earlier tonight. Winner will face them in the championship game.
And then tomorrow morning, we'll have, we won't have, but the girls JV semifinal will be at 9 o'clock. Then followed by the boys JV final. That'll be Triton will be broadcasting that game. And then those winners turn around and play back again at noon and 1:30. All right. So, that didn't get changed. That should be Triton. I didn't get that one changed, but the free throws there, Triton was 0-1 free throws. Bremen was 2 of 3. 2-pointers, 4 of 11. Triton, 5 of 10 for Bremen. 3 points, 2 of 10, and 1 of 8, and turnovers, 6 and 7. Is that what they had?
7 and 7.
7 and 7, yep, because there's a couple of them there. For Bremen, Trevor Devine led their way with 7. Harden with 2. Hunzer with 2. Miller with 2, and Orcutt with 2. As far as fouls, Feldman down there at the bottom there with 3 fouls, and then just a few other ones there to have a single foul for the Trojans. Johnson with 5, Yates with 5, Graham with 4, and Yates and McKinney each with 2, and Johnson with that single foul.
So that being said, we'll take a break. We'll be back after halftime right here on the Triton Trojan Sports Network.
It's time for the Commissioner's Corner, an exclusive weekly conversation about Indiana high school sports with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. Now for an up-to-the-minute report about what's happening in the constantly changing world of high school sports, here's Coach Bob Lovell with Commissioner Paul Neidig.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Bob Lovell. This is our weekly conversation with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. Commissioner, we are in tournament mode right now. We are working hard to get ready before we know it. Winter sports tournaments will begin. We have the pairing show coming up Sunday evening, 5 to 7 on the IHSA Champions Network. But it's not just girls basketball. This is starting with the winter tournament extravaganzas that will be going on very, very soon around our state.
It is. I mean, it's this is where the excitement starts to build, and we're at that stage. And staff, I just walked out of a meeting with staff, and our primary focus right now is making sure that we're prepared to offer a great experience to our student athletes across this state as they enter tournament play.
Well, we've talked about it before, and I think everyone understands. If you're a kid growing up in Indiana, you're going to be playing in facilities that are the envy of everybody else in the country, quite frankly. You're going to be playing in some of the greatest facilities in the world for your particular championship.
We are, and the saying, nowhere but Indiana, and that's certainly true here. Early this week, we actually went down and visited Gamebridge Fieldhouse with our friends, the Pacers and the Fever, and looked at all the great upgrades that they've added to that experience not only for the participants, but also the fans. And it's just, they always called it the best fieldhouse in basketball, the best venue to watch, and they've only improved on that. And it's phenomenal. But Rick Fuson and Mel Raines and Doug Wykamp and their team have done a great job getting that facility ready, and we can't wait to bring our teams in there with wrestling, girls basketball, and boys basketball and give out that big walnut trophy.
Are we going to recognize the facility when we get in?
We are. It's still has got the feel, but it's just nice. There's just a lot of polish in that building, and I can tell you from a guy that set the bench once in a while, the seats are comfortable.
Right.
For the fans and for everybody that's going to be there.
Paul Neidig joining us. We're talking about IHSAA. I can't believe we're doing the pairing show on Sunday. I mean, I cannot, and you and your staff and everybody at the IHSAA are gracious hosts for Greg Rakestraw and me. But you know what this is like. You've been a principal, an athletic director, and you know the tension that is the pairing show and finding out who you're going to be playing and when and what's going to happen. And you've been through this in a real-life situation as a participant on the ground level.
I have been, and I still remember those days. Back when I played, we had to turn the radio on and let the tubes warm up before we'd get the signal. But, everybody, you sit around that radio and you just listen to those names be read off,
right,
and who you're going to play. And, you're preparing all season to improve yourself as an athlete. That is the beginning of a different level of preparation. And now all of a sudden you start looking at your path to victory, your path to the championship. And so now you're preparing against opponents. And you're doing that a couple of weeks before the tournament starts. So, you just kind of build an excitement the entire time, putting in the best plays that you have, the best of what you have to walk through that tournament.
All right. So again, we're starting very, very soon with winter championships. We're going to have the pairing show, obviously, before we know it. We'll be there. And we want to continue to ask people to do the best they can, Paul, to make sure that these kids are able to play all the games scheduled and particularly the championships. And we need everybody's help to do that.
We do. It's so important. We've learned how important participation and opportunity to put that uniform on is for our student athletes. And, we've got to make sure that we do everything we possibly can to make sure student athletes have an opportunity to participate, and everything that you can possibly do to be safe along the way dealing with COVID. You need to do that because it is a tragedy when kids don't get to participate, and I certainly hate it when a kid or a team is quarantined where there's something that could have been done to prevent that.
Thanks for listening to The Commissioner's Corner with IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig and Coach Bob Lovell. And thank you for your continued support of the high schools in your community.
All right, welcome back, everyone. As the Bremen Lions lead here 15-14 at the start of the third quarter. You know some other stats, thanks to Wes and Kevin for the stats as they always bring to us. The big stat for me, tied up both teams with 14 rebounds. Triton has 4 second chance points, but the one thing that Triton's winning the battle is the points off turnover. 8 points off of those 7 turnovers by Bremen. I mean, that's a good stat to have, but Triton has got to find a way to lift the lid and start scoring those baskets in a hurry.
Yeah, there took quite a while in that second quarter to get going. Then they had quick 5 points, but still only then got another 2 to finish out that second quarter. But they're trying to shoot those threes, just shooting 2 of 10. But and then that's kind of where what the guys out there, they like to shoot those, but Oviedo just right now of 0 of 3, and that's his thing.
But for me, the thing that's most impressive is, Bremen's a much taller team, a bigger team in the post, and Triton's hanging right with them in the rebounds. I think that's a big thing, and plus the second chance points, like I said, outdoing them 4.4-0 there in that margin. That is a huge stat line for the Trojans.
That's what you said about how the rebounds. I was like, really? Because a lot of times I'm seeing here, Triton's doing a one and done. One shot, not really going back and getting that rebound and going, but they're grabbing them somewhere.
Now to Bremen's credit, they've got 11 rebounds on the defensive side to Triton's 10, but Triton now rebounding on the offensive glass 4-3. Harden, Devine, Orcutt, Miller, and Hickman the 5 out there for the Lions. Yates, Oviedo, Graham, McKinney, and Bruce Johnson as we get this third quarter underway. Now to Hickman here on the near side, going on top to Orcutt. Now to Harden. They've been very patient with the ball on offense. Tipped around, Oviedo tipped, and Harden touched it, and Triton forcing a turnover coming out of the halftime locker room. Now to Yates on the right wing. Triton looking to capitalize off that turnover. Now to Graham here on the near side. Oviedo with it. Leaves it for Yates. Back to Oviedo. Hard, nice job to fight through the double screen. Yates kicks out to Yates. Or Oviedo kicks out to Yates. Kaden Graham for 3 for the lead. Can't get that one to go if it hits the top of the backboard. And Bremen hangs on to it. Yeah, we may have to try that other angle maybe, see if that helps.
We're having a little bit of time with the camera shooting to a score, getting that clock to stay running like.
Miller now on the right wing as Orcutt working for position. Harden regains control, almost steps over. Orcutt now in the corner to Hickman. Hickman drives now to Harden. Goes to Miller. Feeding to Hickman. He'll drive away. Looking for Orcutt. Nice defense by Bruce Johnson. As Miller gets it now. Harden, hop step, up and off the glass, no good. Johnson touched it, tries to keep it alive and throws it back in to Tyson Yates. They're trying to decide who's going to take it. Yates now. Fadeaway's not there, leans into it. The runner to the baseline, and Triton takes the lead. Nice move there from Tyson Yates.
That's one of those things, just don't give up.
Hickman drives, kicks out. Devine in the corner, Yates stuck to him. Now to Harden here on the near side. Down to Orcutt. Knocked away by Oviedo. Oviedo three-pointer. Can't get that one to go. Kaden Graham with another offensive rebound. Three-pointer for McKinney. Can't get that one to go. Tipped around. Devine with the rebound. Bremen in transition. Now to Hickman. He goes up strong, and we got a blocking foul on the Trojans.
So a foul's going to be on number 10, Ashton Oviedo. His first, team's first this second half.
Hickman's free throw in and out.
Yeah.
There must be something wrong with this rim down here for everybody here tonight.
Does seem like the I've seen a couple times there, they haven't called it, that strap that holds the backboard. The ball has touched it a few times, but it didn't change the outcome of what was going to happen.
Yeah. So after that free throw, it ties it up at 16 as Yates goes to Oviedo. Oviedo will drive, tries to step in a nice defense by Harden. Now down to Yates, banks open for Tyson Yates as the Trojans retake the lead. As Devine in a hurry. Now to Hickman. To Harden, free throw line jumper on the way, drills it right back. Both teams trading blows here in the third quarter. Up to Graham, but then Miller jumps in and intercepts it. Up to Devine, pushing it up the floor. To Harden, transition three on the way, takes the lead. Yates now top the key. Now to McKinney on the right side. McKinney drives, puts on the brakes. Oviedo tries to contest a three to answer. Back right in the face of Harden. Harden hits one in front of Oviedo, and Oviedo hits one right in front of Harden.
That's what he needed, because that's his first one of the 5 attempts.
Both teams trading punches here in the third quarter. Miller off the face of Orcutt, and Tyson Yates comes away with it. Up to Oviedo, high pass. Oviedo can't bring it back in. Right idea, just a little too high, and Oviedo just couldn't quite reel it back in. And Hunziker will check in for Orcutt. As the JV team for Bremen getting a word. But the basketball down here might have dropped it. I don't know what happened. In the corner to Harden. Oviedo left his feet. Harden resets to the lead and takes it. Up to Oviedo. Now to Graham. Big man goes up underneath and draws the foul.
So number 50, Carson Miller, is going to pick up his second. Bremen's first this half.
And Kaden Graham, the lone Trojan, to the free throw line here tonight. Looking for his first free throw to drop.
Ooh.
Gets a friendly bounce. Connor Large will check in. And Ty Feldman will check in with those 3 fouls. Second one for Graham. An important free throw there to drop to put him down by 1.
That looked a little prettier going in.
Devine goes to Miller off the screen. He'll drive against Graham. Picks up his dribble. Leaves it for Hunziker. Back to Harden. Now to Devine. Down to Feldman calling for in the post. Finds Hunziker driving to the basket. Up, can't get the roll. Knocks it away as he'll lose it off the rebound, and Triton takes back over. Oviedo will bring it up now. Now to McKinney on the left elbow. Oviedo straightaway 3. Puts it in! And Triton back out in front.
Maybe Harden had to show him how to do it, so then he comes down and does it. Now they're just trading them back and forth.
Hunziker with the up fake. Back to Devine. He'll try a 3. It's a 3-point barrage here in the third quarter as the Lions back out in front by 1. At the end of the first half, only 3 3-pointers were made. 1 by Triton, 2 by Bremen. And here 2 3-pointers made by Bremen and 3 made by Triton here in the third quarter. 3-point barrage, I think, is the right terminology there.
Yeah, everything just keeps even, back and forth. Let's see if I can get this quick. Well, we got just a few seconds here for the JV boys. That OD will start there at the bottom. OD and New Prairie game, that was canceled. And then Culver Glen won on that one. And then Triton up there at the top beat LaVille. And then Argus and Bremen. So tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock.
We assume all those times and stuff are still the same?
Yeah, we're assuming at 10 o'clock. So we'll have Triton and Bremen. We'll carry that game. And in this gym, I believe. And then the other gym will have the New Prairie and Glen game.
You mean Triton Argus?
I mean Triton and Argus, yeah.
I was going to say.
I was reading something else there as I was gone through there. So
I was just making sure.
Yep. So, yeah, we'll cover that Triton Argus game there at 10 o'clock.
So the 5 out there for the Lions, Miller, Hunziker, Harden, Feldman, and Nunemaker. Johnson, Large, Oviedo, Kaden Graham, and Tyson Yates, the 5 out there for the Trojans. 1 point ball game. Inside 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Oviedo thought about it. Deep 3 on the way. Bucket!
Took a while to get him started,
Yeah.
but 3 of 7.
He hit that one from the concession stand, literally.
Maybe he was just too close.
Just needs to step it back. Bracy Wright, you see that when he shot his free throws. Carson Miller up top the key, driving. Kicks it to Harden in the corner. Hunziker looking for Feldman. Too hot of a pass. Connor Large is there to take it away. Yates losing against Miller. It's a fight for the basketball as Miller goes to the floor. We're going to get it. They're going to say a kick ball.
Kick.
They just pointed to Triton that they had the ball. They said kick ball. So, okay, now we
Yep.
change it. Nice scrappy play there by Miller to kind of dive for it and knock it away. Nunemaker here on the near side. Harden off the screen. Feldman trying to gain possession, or position down the low block here a moment ago. Nunemaker up top the key. Now to Harden. He'll try a 3. Off the iron, off the score clock. No good. You know, every time it's a rim, it seems to want to hit that score clock on either side.
Goes up there or hits that cable up there.
Oviedo now up the floor. Goes to Connor Large. In the corner, Bruce Johnson for 3. Oh, off the side iron. Connor Large, offensive rebound. Yates goes up, draws the foul and 1. But the big thing there, you know, Johnson missed that 3, but Connor Large, Triton cleaning the glass here tonight.
So number 50, Carson Miller, is going to pick up his 3rd, so he's the second Lion to have 3 fouls.
So don't tell these Trojans they're smaller. They're playing like they're just as big.
So this will actually be Tyson's first free throw attempt.
And one opportunity connects there. Largest lead for the Trojans is 5 right here. Devine goes to Hickman as those two just checked back in. Hickman caught, goes to Hunziker, loses on the baseline, and Bremen turns it over. And Harden looks to check back in. He's going to come in for Hunziker. Coach Groves directing his offense. Now to Oviedo. Harden stuck to him. Back to Connor Large. Now to Yates. Up high, Graham, alley-oop, can't get it to go. Harden gets the rebound. Hickman in transition, putting on the brakes, splitting defenders. Cross court to Devine. Devine, no look pass to Harden. Dribble drive for him. Fadeaway jumper along the baseline is good. And puts the Lions down by 3. Up to Johnson. Now to Connor Large. Trojans patient now with 47 seconds to go here in the third quarter. So he'll go to Yates, and they'll let the countdown start against him. Yates loses him off the crossover. No look pass, Kaden Graham. Patient, draws the foul, and another and one opportunity for Kaden Graham as he flexes that one in.
Get the roll on that ball.
But Tyson Yates leading his way off he dropped him on the crossover, got over, saw an open window and fed him right perfectly. Good play there by Tyson Yates as well.
So Dawson Hickman's going to pick up his 2nd, Bremen's 3rd.
Graham to go again. Free throws up, can't get the roll. Off the front iron, Hard now bringing up the floor. Harden works the left. He'll drive, throws it back to Feldman. Out of Devine. 15 seconds. Works the screen from Orcutt. Lays it for Harden. Hard down to Orcutt, leading his way and gets it to drop. 5 seconds. Up the floor to Oviedo. Oviedo's got to get going here, and they're going to call a carry on the Trojans with half a second left. Miller will check in for Nunemaker. Bremen a chance at the last second heave. Up to Miller, steps back at the buzzer. Off the mark, no good, it looked good. And the Trojans with the 3-point lead heading into the fourth quarter.
Oh, messed up our scoreboard.
Yeah, I was just going to say kill him.
I didn't get it.
34-31.
Yeah, it's 34-31.
But you know what we're seeing here, Kenny, this is these two groups, we're seeing adjustments being made, but the Trojans compensating and looking strong here.
Yeah, they just keep, a lot of times they're underneath that basket. They've just been, that's really messed up. Just, not giving up, taking that one shot and not taking off, getting that rebound or getting underneath there, faking it, trying to get the defender in the air, then going up and getting that N1 opportunities.
And taking advantage of those points off turnovers. We said coming into that third quarter they had 8 points off of turnovers, but this third quarter they've trailed, but yet they found a way back out in front. Like we said, it was a 3-point barrage, is the highest scoring quarter of the evening with 36 points put up between the two teams. Triton putting up 20 points, winning that third quarter, 16 points put up by the Lions. As Coach Miller resetting his team down there along the benches, Jason Groves finishes his conversation with his Trojans.
We've had some jumping going on up here. I might have to check the cameras.
Fourth, and fourth.
All right. Miller, Orcutt, Feldman, Devine, and Harden, the 5 out there for the Bremen Lions. Ashton Oviedo, Connor Large, Bruce Johnson, Cole McKinney, and Tyson Yates, the 5 out there for the Trojans. Hands off to Yates. Bruce Johnson for 3. Puts it in, Bruce! Ice water in his veins, Johnson drills that one.
It gets him 8 points for the evening.
Miller drives, goes up strong with the right hand, can't get the bounce, Orcutt's put back is good. Oviedo drives. Now to Yates in the corner. Oviedo calling for it. Working against Harden. Step back 3. Off the side and off the mark right. Connor Large trying to get there and bring it back into play. Kaden Graham will check back in for Connor Large. Miller hands off to Harden. Now to Orcutt in the corner. To Miller, pull-up jumper on the way, fade away, and it's good. Cuts that lead to 2. Yates hands off to Oviedo. Now to Bruce Johnson, to Cole McKinney in the corner. Now to Yates, and a travel as when he goes to stop, kind of shuffled his feet. I believe that's where the official saw the travel. Miller drives, goes up strong to get fouled. And he'll go to the line for 2.
So number 22, Bruce Johnson's going to pick up his second. Trojans' second foul this half.
And there's free throw drops. A chance to tie here on this free throw. And we're knotted up at 37. Yates brings up the floor. A timeout for Coach Groves. As he'll draw something up for his offense.
Is that their first that they've taken?
I don't have timeouts listed on
That's
here.
what I don't. And I think it's when this reset, I think it grabbed the wrong one. I think that is their first. I'll leave it at 4.
We'll give a shout out to all 223 viewers watching right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate everybody watching.
Good game. Good tight game.
You know, this is a team the other night. They're no stranger to going riding a marathon there. I mean, they went to 4 overtimes.
Yep. Yeah, and for the different scores that we caught, we could tell that it's a pretty tight game for that one all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the winner of this game will play Glenn tomorrow evening for the Bi-County Championship, approximately 8 o'clock.
As Glenn awaits as they look to four-peat. Look for a 4-peat. Of course, they played extremely well earlier against New Prairie as they've continued great success all season long for the Falcons. Now Oviedo brings it up. Goes to Tyson Yates. Yates goes the patient, hands off to Oviedo. Now to McKinney. Now to Oviedo. And a travel by Oviedo, and Triton turns it over off the timeout.
Have we had this many travels in a game this season?
You probably did last night.
Feldman, Devine, Miller, Orcutt, and Harden. The 5 are there for the Lions with Graham, Johnson, Yates, McKinney, and Oviedo, the 5 for the Trojans. Working it around Orcutt in the corner. Harden. Coach Groves wanting to travel there as it looked like a similar move of Tyson Yates. Miller in the corner to Orcutt. Now to Harden on the left wing. Tipped by Oviedo. Oviedo taking off, 3-on-3 fast break. Kicks out, he'll draw a foul.
Fouls on number 12, Tony Harden, his second, Bremen's 4th.
McKinney to inbound for the Trojans. Orcutt to provide the wall. Up now to Yates. Yates drives. Leads in, draws a foul, and can't get it to drop, but he'll go to the line for 2. Tyson Yates putting on the brakes, falling away, using that contact.
It's number 24, Trevor Devine, his second, team's 5th.
Yates, that Dirk Nowitzki-like fadeaway. He just stops, he moves so well, just that pivot foot. He's off on the mark on the first one. This one for the lead. Takes it by 1. Now for Devine. Tipped around, and Yates knocked it away. Oviedo's got it, throws it behind Kaden Graham. I think they were kind of surprised they had it. As Yates initiated by reaching around and knocking it away.
And that's one of those things here, just unofficially. Turnovers, 14-13. So everything's still so even.
Yates reaches out and takes it away. Devine to meet him. Yates up, draws the foul and 1. Tyson Yates, and he takes a seat. And let me tell you, hitting those hardwood bleachers is not.
No.
Whew, there's no padding there. But hey, he took a seat. He was.
I'm here. So Trevor Devine's going to pick up his 3rd, so he's the 3rd Lion to pick up a 3rd foul.
That might be a highlight of the night. I think the guy down there got it.
Yates completes the N1 opportunity as he's fired up. So the Trojans take that lead. Devine caught. Tyson Yates throws the charge. Tyson Yates fired up, bringing him back. Had all that energy to take that charge after he took a seat.
So Trevor Devine's going to pick up his 4th. And timeout, Bremen.
A good timeout for Bremen as Triton pushes that lead up to 4. But Tyson Yates drawing that charge. Saw Devine kind of uncontrolled, kind of out of control on that far side. Found a way to get in there, draw, and just get his feet so planted and draw and drew one of those elbows and just hit the deck.
Yeah, he just was not enough to crowd them. So, they did see a few of those calls where you're just too much on top of him and the guy can't move. Be enough for he can move and then be able to take that contact. We do have the timeouts left. We kind of lost track of those, so we're not 100% sure that's exactly right. So we'll just kind of leave it at that. Pretty close. Gets down to that single one. That'll be our biggest issue. But
I don't know if she's watching, but I promised Danny I'd give her a shout out tonight. And she's had a tough week, but yet that you talk about battle and pushing through. That young lady did that the last couple days.
Thunderstrike's wanted to give her a shout out too.
Absolutely appreciate that. As you know, Danny's kind of like I said, had a tough week, had the unexpected trip to Riley this week, but yet found a way to, you talk about pushing through, and she was sitting there and the nurse said, "Do you want to take a break?" She goes, "No, I got this, I'm pushing through." She goes, "I want to go home, I'm pushing through." And she stood there, she said, "Man up," and the nurse looked at me. She knew where she got that comment from. McKinney now goes to Connor Large. Leaves it for Yates, top the key. Yates drives. With all the momentum, can't get that one to roll. Feldman now. Leaves it for Miller. To Nunemaker. Back on top to Harden. Goes to Miller. Orcutt top the key. Goes to Feldman. Feeding it down to Miller. Finding room. Knocked away by Kaden Graham. And Connor Large leaves it for Graham. Up to Yates. Yates will drive, but they're going to get a carry. Is the call. I don't think I've ever seen so many carries called in the game, either.
Always asked to be consistent, and so far I guess I have seen a lot of that consistency.
Now to Feldman on the left wing, on top to Orcutt. Down to Miller. Harden, three-pointer on the way, drops it in, and cuts that lead to 1 inside the halfway point of the fourth quarter. Hands off Oviedo. Oviedo working against Harden, drives through. I'm going to call a foul on the floor.
Will be on Harden, his 3rd, team's 8th.
And Devine's going to check in for Orcutt. As Oviedo will go to the line, as they are in the bonus. As the line's with 8 team fouls. So these free throws are going to be important here in the next 3 minutes and 48 seconds for both teams. And Oviedo drops the first one. Oviedo off in the second one, a 91% free throw shooter coming into tonight's game on the season. Miller reverses, goes to Feldman, top the key. Now to Devine, in the corner to Harden. Back to Miller. Devine with the ball. Goes to Harden. To Nunemaker. Tipped away by Connor Large and goes off of Miller. Connor Large with the hustle play. Bruce Johnson will check in for Connor Large. Oviedo down the right wing. On top to Kaden Graham. Goes to Tyson Yates. Yates drives. Stops, picks up his dribble, leans into that one. Can't get the roll. Feldman with the defensive board. Harden down the floor. Miller goes up strong for the tie. Can't get it to go. Kaden Graham reaches up and takes it down. Up to Yates. Triton's got numbers. To Oviedo outside.
Haven't heard the whistle yet.
Oviedo cross court to Johnson. To Kaden Graham. Three-pointer off the right side. Hits the front iron. No good. And Harden loses it. Goes out of bounds.
McKinney must have touched it enough to knock it out.
Hunziker will check in for Bremen. Yates trying to knock away, but he'll get called for a foul. And the Bremen faithful happy with that call.
And that's going to be his third, Triton's third this half.
Devine with it, goes to Miller in the left wing. To Feldman. Hardman drives, retreats back. Fine works left, now to Feldman. Leads Harden for the tie. Gets it.
Harden's leading Bremen with 17 points.
Yates going to Johnson. Just about a minute and a half to go. Yates now. Drives. Retreats back. Yates drives, steps through, high pass to Johnson, tries a three contested, puts it in! Bruce Johnson!
11 points.
Harden with the basketball, on over to Feldman, feeding it down to Miller. Miller goes baseline, and a blocking foul called on Kaden Graham.
And that's going to be Caden's first, team's fourth.
Of course, Bremen's been battle tested here with that 4 overtime game against Argus the other night. So I don't think we haven't seen overtime this season.
As they played 12 quarters in the last 2 games. Up and in! 1 point ball game, and the nice move from Hunziker. A timeout for Coach Groves. As the final minute of the ball game will start to tick down following this timeout. 1 point ball game. They got your money's worth tonight.
Yeah, that was getting right there. I say just glancing at stats, how even everything's just keeps plugging away. Yep, it was exciting as the Indiana-Purdue game, being in attendance.
Yeah. I imagine is your hearing coming back? I mean, it was loud on TV.
It was loud. There was a lot of times you couldn't even hear the officials or anything. You just all of a sudden, the players stopped moving. Oh, they must have called something. So, yeah, that was exciting game.
Want to give Ian a happy birthday shout-out. Noonamaker, Hickman, Harden, Hunziker, and Feldman, the 5 out there for the Bremen Lions. Johnson, McKinney, Yates, Oviedo, and Kaden Graham, the 5 out there for the Trojans. 57.6 remaining. It's a 1 point lead. Bruce Johnson goes to inbound. Kaden Graham goes to the corner. Johnson leaves it for Yates. And Hickman will foul him as they'll send Tyson Yates to the line for the 1-on-1 opportunity. I think that's a smart play right there. Because Yates what worst he can do is put up 2 points right there, and it gives Bremen a little chance to come down and tie it, and at least tie or take the lead, depending on what happens here.
Yeah, because all Triton had to do is get the ball number one inbounded. Then since they inbounded in the backcourt, get it across. You didn't have to shoot, so.
And free throws are going to be extremely important here in the next 56 seconds. Tyson Yates' first one is right here.
The other thing is that's their 9th foul. So they can't just willy-nilly keep fouling because have Triton shooting 2.
Bremen has the possession arrow. As Yates puts him up by 3. Devine at the far sideline, leading for Harden. Harden drive, splits the defenders, pull-up jumper in the lane, off the mark, no good. Miller gets it, goes up strong with it, can't get it to go. Bruce Johnson gets the rebound and a foul call. And Miller in disbelief as he wanted a foul call. A lot of contact under the basket.
So Dawson Hickman's going to pick up his 4th. Yep, and then there's the double bonus now for the Trojans.
Johnson hits that one, puts the lead up to 4. Second one connects. The Trojan lead to 5. Still plenty of time for the Lions. Yates now working against Devine. Leaves it for Harden. Harden pulls back. Miller now, he'll drive. Goes up strong with it, draws the foul, and 2 free throws coming here.
So Kaden Graham's going to pick up his 2nd.
Coach Grove's words of encouragement for Kaden Graham as he'll take his spot in the low block. As Feldman
That's Miller.
as Miller shoots that one. As Feldman looks to check in. Noonamaker will check in as well.
Should I get a wireless ready eventually?
We'll just do it up here.
Just do it up here.
Yeah, but we got somebody in front of us.
Oh no, I'll take care of it. Yeah. Good point. McKinney looking to inbound. It's now to a 3-point ball game. Goes to Yates. Yates gets fouled by Hickman.
And that's going to be it for Hickman. That's his 5th.
Carson Miller will check back in as Hickman will be done for the evening. That box is in front of you.
Okay.
Tyson Yates to the line for Triton, shooting 2.
Yates' first free throw's up. Off the mark.
Probably have you, once you get a hold of him, get him up in the end zone bleachers.
Okay. Yates now from the free throw line again. Puts him up by 4. And a timeout.
So with that timeout, we believe they have 2 left. So we have a big full timeout here. So like I said, we're going to throw this bracket back up here, how we kind of got here for the evening. So there at the top there, Glenn beat Culver, New Prairie beat Oregon Davis, and then Bremen and Argus there in that 4 overtime game, and then Triton beating LaVille.
Extra battery in case that.
So then get that Glenn New Prairie game. Of course, Glenn took care of that one here earlier this tonight, and then we'll get the outcome of this. We'll meet Glenn there tomorrow night. They got 8:30 at 8:30 somewhere there just after that girls game.
They have to do the Hawkins Award between games, so it takes about, 20 minutes more than it usually does.
Yeah, seems to get set up. So, and we'll cover the boys JV 10:30 game, that semifinal game, and then if the Triton boys do win, we'll probably
cover the girls
championship. Girls championship, and then the boys JV championship afterwards.
And then if the Trojans win here, we'll
be then back here for
tomorrow night.
Spend the day.
So Feldman, Devine, Miller, Hunziker, and Harden the 5. Yates, Graham, Johnson, McKinney, and Oviedo the 5 for the Trojans. Devine driving. Goes back to Hunziker. He'll try the dual drive. Leans into that one. Back iron, no good. Gets his own rebound. And Bruce Johnson takes it away. And Johnson draws the foul with 14.5 to go. Winner will take on Glenn in the championship game. Bruce Johnson with 2 big free throws coming here.
So Bremen foul on number 40, Ty Feldman, his 4th.
Bruce Johnson to the line, shooting 2.
Trojans shooting 11 of 16 as a team.
And out for Johnson. Second one on the way, drops. Hard now, quickly up the floor, running out as Oviedo get called for the foul. As Harden tries to get away.
We're fouling on purpose, aren't we?
I think that one definitely was.
Okay, I didn't get it. Didn't see it. I'm shuffling stuff on my phone here. And controlling the camera.
Goes to Miller. Miller splitting the defenders, runs into that one, can't get it to go with his own putback and draws the foul. A chance to cut it to 2 here with 6.5 to go.
So Tyson Yates going to pick up his 4th.
And Nunemaker will check in for Devine.
Bremen shooting 7 of 9 as a team.
Free throw on the way for Miller's good.
And he's perfect at 7. Groves calling a timeout, figuring out where they're going to have the ball inbounded.
I should probably check the battery on this thing. Okay, as long as we don't go overtime. How was that one? Did you?
I don't know. I haven't messed with it yet.
Yeah, make sure it connects to. Yep, connected. What's the battery?
It's full.
Okay. Good to see the Bremen cheerleaders here. Not sure why we didn't bring ours.
Oh, we got a little bit of a pep block down there. Got some of the girls' varsity players down there. A lot of fans in attendance here tonight. Started to clear out. I was like, well,
yeah.
I forgot all the Glenn people.
Yeah, a lot of Glenn people didn't stick around. They should have stayed for a nice, tight game.
Well, who's to say they're not watching?
Well, that's true. Do appreciate all the 270 watching tonight.
That might be a record for us.
That's pretty close. Some of our sectional games was up in there.
6.5 to go. McKinney to inbound. Can patrol the baseline. Timeout as he didn't see what he liked.
Smart. I'm sure he was coached to definitely, don't let him get the ball under the basket.
You'll want to watch all the local news tonight. I think all 3 of them have been here. 57, 22, and 16.
I sure hope they got Tyson sitting down because that was great.
One of them got him.
So 6.5 to go as Miller looks to call here. I think, you take your chance and you draw and you foul. I mean, if you can't get that inbound to go, you foul right away, I think, is the call here for Bremen.
Yeah, you have to get that in there. Watch out for Triton. They haven't done it as much this year as their long court pass to get the ball, or at least get the ball away from this end so Bremen can't just grab and do a quick shot. Take some time off.
But plenty of time for Bremen a team that went to 4 overtimes a few nights ago. And the Trojans, as Orion had alluded to earlier, has not played in overtime this season. As 2 points separate the two teams with 6.5 to go.
Yeah, we're having a little issue with their clock again. 6.5 seconds. There we go.
The starting five's out there for Triton, as Cole McKinney will handle the inbound duties, as he can patrol the whole patrol the whole inbound.
His biggest thing is if he does take off moving and he wants to heave it, he's not under that basket.
And Yates gets fouled by Miller now with 5.3 to go. 2 very important free throws coming up here for Tyson Yates.
So Carson Miller's going to pick up his 4th.
Tyson Yates to the line for Triton. Shooting 2.
I think it's some of those 200, we might have somebody from way down south might be watching from Dominican.
Maybe so. Yates connects on the first one. It's a 3-point lead. Coach Groves hollering no fouls after this shot. Shot's up, and it drops. Bremen's going to have to go in a hurry here. Down by 4. A heave to the basket by Miller, and Triton and Glenn will play one another in the Bi-County Championship.
So we'll get things synced up here and get the team stats pulled across. So like I say there, the Trojans free throw lines helped them out tonight. 12 of 18. Bremen shot 8 of 10. 2 points, 9 of 19. And Bremen 13 of 28. 3-pointers for the Trojans, a little slow start, and then got 7 of the 21 to drop. Bremen got 5 of 13, and on the turnovers, 14 to 17 unofficially. Hardin led their way with 17. Miller with 11. Devine with 10. Orcutt with 6, and Hunsker with 4. For the Trojans, Tyson Yates, 21. Johnson with 14. Oviedo with 10. And Graham with 8. So like I said, Triton now will meet Glenn tomorrow evening here for the Bi-County Championship at 8:30. We'll cover the boys JV game there about 10:30. And then since we'll probably be here, we'll cover the girl, if they win, they'll cover the girls JV championship game and then the boys championship game afterwards. And then we haven't decided yet, we might, while we're here, take care of the girls championship varsity game. We'll just watch our Twitter feed. Then we'll definitely cover the Triton Glen game here tomorrow night. So stay tuned. We're getting set up for try to get Groves up here or somewhere down there for an interview. And stay tuned.
Yep.
We'll be right back.
Okay. All right, welcome back, everyone. We got Coach Gross. Coach, congrats on making the championship game. These guys, you talk about hard-fought game. That's exactly what we had here tonight.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a hard-fought game. I thought our kids battled, especially the second half. I felt like the first half played a little passive offensively. We were defending them fairly well, but, just a little passive offensively. So at halftime, hey, we got to come out and be aggressive. And I thought we had some kids step up. Wasn't perfect all night, but, found a way to get it done.
And then, we were talking in pregame about how important the rebounds were going to be. And, they held right neck and neck. It was 14 all as far as the rebound total goes. But your guys, against a bigger team, really handled their own on the glass here tonight.
Yeah, surprisingly, we haven't really had a ton of issues all season. But, I'm proud of our kids. We only gave up 7 offensive rebounds. We had 7 offensive rebounds. So, that against a team like this who boards really well, they're really good in transition, too. I thought we did a good job keeping these guys in front of us and make them earn stuff. And so just proud of our guys' effort. A lot of guys stepped up defensively. Kaden and Connor kind of, really stepped up in Cole's absence. So, it was nice to see these guys, just come together and get a win.
With these 6, with those guys, we kind of talked, well, what's it like if we only have 6? With Cole not being here tonight and no Chandler back yet. But, with that being said, going to that smaller bench, what was it like for you? That faith in your guys had to be huge here tonight.
Definitely. We had the JV guys ready. The rules a little bit different this year because of COVID. Yep. And so, actually, I'm the one that asked the question at the meeting. I'm like, okay, what happens if you play your JV game, somebody gets contact traced at the varsity, can you play a JV player up and then he's done JV? And so that they kind of said, yeah, that's probably a good idea for this year. And I'm the one that asked, I guess, predicting the future there. But we had them there available. But I told him, I said, be in the game, we may need you. I'm going to try to preserve you for the JV game for Coach Long. Luckily we were able to do that. It's hard for those kids. Dante and Evan are probably there sweating, and Javen and Jacob, am I going to get in? Am I going to get in? Tyson has too, but I thought everybody stepped up though. We had the guys rotating in quite a bit, that one guy circling through, and so everybody got some breaks. So, just proud of our guys fighting through it and getting the job done.
Like you said, things kind of got started off slow in that second half, erupting for 39 points in that second half. Tyson Yates did a lot of awesome things tonight, really initiated a lot. There's some big plays he did, but the guys drawing a couple of charges was huge for this team to really shift momentum.
Definitely. I told him that's one thing. We got to be able to take charges on these guys. We got to get in front of them, make them not so aggressive coming to the basket because they're really aggressive getting to the bucket. And, I think that slows teams down a little bit when they're afraid they're going to get a charge. And so, I told Connor there at the end, I put him in, I said, here's your charge, you're going to get one. And he tried it. I thought he had it, but, just call went the wrong way. But, like I said, just proud of the kids' effort. The second half, I kind of got on them a little bit offensively. You guys got to play like you play. You're going to make some mistakes. We know that. Yep. Okay, play through it. Let's be aggressive. And our guys did. Did they make mistakes? Yeah. Okay, but that's, what we're working on, trying to clean up. And, but you got to be aggressive. You can't play basketball not being aggressive.
Exactly, Coach. Well, congrats on that. You got some work to go do here. So that being said, we'll hang it up here for the Triton Trojan Sports Network. Until next time, Trojan fans, remember the Trojan way.